Once Human just had a pretty massive error that was corrected. Additionally, we'll go over some delays and what those entail. With that, and even further, some rewards that were reverted, although there are some exclusive cosmetics you can earn right now. Last up, of course, we'll go over those community mentionables and fair warnings. We got a ton to talk about. What's up, world? It's Utopia here, back in with another video. Today we're checking out all things Once Human. So first up here, addressing the recent error that was happening. There was actually something called a celebration protocol gift packed email error, and this did affect over 3,000 accounts. Now, there is a list currently you can check to see if your account is on it. Now, I do believe this list needs to be translated if you are in a different region, but you can check by your ID, which is kind of the easiest method there. So if you did want to see if your account was affected, you can just Control F and then look for your ID. Essentially, this was a system error that caused non-purchasing players to receive the Celebration Protocol reward in their email. So some players either got cosmetics or Star Source or even Star Forged Stones, which are light forged stones essentially, or even Christogen, the premium currency. That was essentially a mistake. Not everybody was supposed to receive that. As I mentioned, this did affect over 3,000 accounts, and they did some rollback actions of that. So the resource reclaim logic goes as follows. Positive balance accounts had no action required. So essentially, if you had the currency already or had enough currency, it would just deduct what it had already. However, if you had negative Starforged stones since the last draw, those results were revoked, and essentially they equaled you out to a negative balance. With this fix, if you were to go in the negatives for your Christogen balance, that was reversed with shop purchases in a reverse order until the account's balance was non-negative. So essentially they did remove those cosmetics from your account until you did get a positive balance, meaning just in case if you actually did have some leftover Christogen or used it to purchase an item, they refunded you until you went positive in your balance. So if an outfit cost 3,000 and you had 1,500 Christogen, you'd be back at 1,500 with the outfit removed. Basically, they did everything they could to get your final balance to zero. There was also a shop gifting recovery, which revoked 120 cosmetic gifts, that those were issued via gifting. So if you were using this currency to gift your friends, they also did revoke that. But they've also refunded the Christogen that you spent by gifting players, so you would retain whatever balance you had before. They do outline all the shop recovery purchases here, like the cosmetics, bounty challenges, rename cards, or even chroma tokens, which those can revert to chroma seals or even the vouchers. They mentioned those are low value though and low volume, so they didn't do a rollback there. For the bounty challenges, those are currently under processing and those will be completed within 5 business days. For the Lightforged Loot Crate or Starforged chests, again, because of translations here, this is a bit different. They have removed those erroneous Starforged crystals or Lightforged crystals, which include the light conversions and duplicate cosmetics. Legitimate draws, though, were made post-bug, so those remain untouched. And if your balance is negative now because of that, relevant redemption rewards have been rolled back until the balance is corrected. Again, I will include a link to the full affected account list down below. I would just check via your ID since it has some translation issues. Moving on here, for those of you that are on a permanent server or essentially not leaving a server, scenario challenges actually have been delayed, or they had issues with permanent server registrations and even new character creation options that were enabled post-update, but the scenario challenges were not available yet, meaning that players couldn't claim challenge rewards or keys, essentially disrupting progression and exploration motivation. They do mention that the solution timeline for that is unfortunately not until the August 14th update, so there is still about 2 weeks there, at least a week and a half until you'll get those scenario challenges. However, they will do an unlock all scenario challenge task at once upon the update release. So those scenarios will remain in phase 1, but then it will grant you all the rewards on the August 14th update, basically a catch-up mechanic for those servers. You'll still retain the current task and reward progress. However, they're going to make sure they're not duplicating any rewards there to maintain fairness. So still a band-aid solution for right now, but a full fix on August 14th and with a catch-up mechanic. Speaking of scenarios and the recent spin-off, Raid Zone. Now, if you see it labeled anywhere inverted war, that's actually what it's called in the Chinese client, and then through translations or what they make for the English name is Raid Zone. There's actually quite a massive issue that was fixed this morning. People were able to do an infinite reward exploit. There was a bug within the Raid Zone scenario that allowed players to repeatedly claim the settlement reward emails, basically by entering and exiting the permanent scenario. I assume that was by claiming the mail up top and then maybe going to Eternal Land and coming back in, which enabled infinite farming of butterfly certificates and other scenario rewards. This also did apply and was identified to the Endless Dream scenario, involving repeated claims of global first elimination rewards. What they have done is they stopped sending reward settlements to characters who registered into a permanent scenario, and newly created characters on the permanent server as well. They have done a full fix for this, where now reward eligibility is tied to the character's first server entry timestamp. preventing any subsequent duplicate claims. So they have fixed the issue entirely. They've also gone ahead and rolled back and done penalties. All excess resources obtained through this exploit will be reclaimed, and accounts that were found intentionally abusing this bug will face sanctions after verification. They do have a dev closing statement on this one, where they do sincerely apologize for all the inconveniences above. The team is dedicated for reliability, ensuring fair gameplay, and delivering the best experience. I will say, regardless of all these issues, the fact that they were able to roll back those systems and appropriately address negative balances is, to be honest, better than any game I've ever experienced. I get there's glaring issues there, but the fact that they were able to remedy that and completely fix it and roll it back, you basically don't see that in 99% of other issues in other games. Whether it's people able to duplicate in MMOs, or even forge different systems and exploit. World of Warcraft has had duplication issues, New World has had duplication issues, and there's probably many others you can list. Majority of those cases, and I think a glaring example is New World, where they weren't even able to roll back 12 hours. They just shut down the trading post and made it so that nobody could send gold. But all of that exploited gold, I saw people with tens of millions of gold 3 weeks into launch using this duplicated method, and AGS basically did nothing. This also happened in World of Warcraft, and the same thing there, nothing was done. So the fact that they're able to do that, reduce everything, and bring it back to ground level, again, is really more than any MMO currently, so I do have to give them props there where it is due. That honestly isn't me glazing at all, that literally is just how it has been, and I'm very impressed with the solutions overall. Now, I did mention there is some exclusive limited time rewards that you can get right now, and that does tie into that Raid Zone has officially launched. Or of course, they also showcase off the July 29 version update with some gameplay optimizations to end this dream with the Starfall Inversion visual wheel, so now you can interact with both of those, and the version events that last until August 30th. There also, of course, was the cosmetic update and shop update with a few new rewards and the Gilded Summer Lightforged loot crate. There's also some new outfits and great value selectable gift pack. But as I mentioned, there are some rewards that you can claim and earn, and those are currently the Raid Zone limited time Twitch drop event, which does have a bit of face paint or makeup, where you can get for watching for only 1 hour. There is one also for watching for 3 hours that you can get a decal called Fate Reversed, where you can slap on any of your vehicles. On top of that, there was some additional redeem codes. The first one is Raid Zone Drops. That'll get you some emissary crates, the Mizuko marks, and even another face paint, with additional redeem codes here and other active codes including Thank You, Raid Zone, MP3, and OH007. Again, I'll include all those in the description down below. Various ones there, they did give you Star Crom and some energy links and activators, but a decent bit there if you wanted to claim them. On top of that, there was an event here. I'm not exactly sure if this does apply to all clients currently, but there's this huge thing here that I have gone ahead and tried to translate for you. Some of the things are still very off and trying to get the correct translations. Now, this is for Once Human, they're calling New World Plan Episode 18, and it is applying to both the global PvE and PvP servers. There is some ranking rewards here where you can get the Abyss Roar skin and plus 1000 Star Crom. The top 2 to 3% get 200, with the top 20% getting a Universal Supply Crate plus 200 as well. And even if you just participate, you get a Universal Supply Crate plus some Star Crom on top of that. Overall, should well cover for today's video. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, and until the next one. Deuce!